I've got the book Lawrence and Sophia by Doreen Cronin. I'm going to show you exactly what questions to ask when you read this book with your kids so that you are getting the most out of reading comprehension. Themes developed in this book are conquering fear through empathy, expanding comfort zones, shared perspectives, vulnerable anxiety, selfless bravery, and the comfort of companionship. This book is adorable. All right, first question, central idea. What does Lawrence want? What gets in his way? How does he solve this problem? What does Lawrence want? Lawrence ultimately just wants to feel safe and comfortable. As a human being, as a kid, as a person, he just wants to feel safe and comfortable in his safe and comfort zone. What gets in his way? He says, out there is very big, out there is very loud, out there is very crowded. So there's a lot of things about outside his safe space that he's just that doesn't make me feel comfortable. I'm just gonna stay here. How does he propose to solve this problem? He just does everything inside his comfort zone. That's Lawrence. And Sophia is very similar. Next question, central idea. What does Sophia want? What gets in her way? How does she resolve the problem? So what does Sophia want? She just wants to feel safe, comfortable, and happy in her own little space, in her comfort zone. What gets in her way? She did not go down there. Down there is dark. So outside her comfort zone, it's dark, it's bumpy, it's dangerous. So she's I don't want to go out there. I don't like it out there. I'm going to stay here in my safe zone and I'm going to be happy. How does she resolve this problem? Simply by staying in her comfort zone. Okay, so both of these are comfort zone kind of people. They do things through their comfort zone, but one day Olivia walks out on a branch in her comfort zone, but she goes to the edge of it and she ends up at Lawrence's window. And Lawrence and Sophia meet through the window. Next question, key detail. What key details help us understand how excited Lawrence and Sophia were to meet each other? Okay, so they're both expanding their comfort zones, but in a safe way. So now Lawrence can hang out with Sophia, Sophia can hang out with Lawrence. They've expanded their comfort zones without expanding their comfort zones. And they understand that they have this shared perspective. You want to be in your comfort zone, I want to be in mine, and we can actually figure out how to do this together and still enjoy each other's company, and kind of expand the comfort zone without expanding the comfort zone. And the key details that show us how excited, Lawrence says, no one ever looked so happy to see her. So Lawrence is smiling at her. And it says no one had ever traveled so far to see him. So they were both oh my gosh, nobody ever looked so happy to see me. This is great. And Lawrence is oh my gosh, nobody ever traveled that far to come see me. She traveled all the way out to the end of the branch. So they're excited to meet each other and to start hanging out. And they hang out every day. They do things, staying in their own comfort zone. They play together. They do things together. It's really cute. They build things together. Still always staying within their own comfort zones. All right, next question. Character relationships. How do their actions show they care about each other? So number one, they are allowing each other to stay inside their comfort zones. Nobody is asking somebody to do something they don't want to. And that shows empathy. So they have a shared understanding and so they value their companionship, but they also value what the other person needs. So we've got some themes developing here. The shared perspectives. So they both feel the same way. They both have the same needs and they're going to respect each other's needs because they understand each other. Selfless bravery, comfort of companionship. Okay, we're getting to the other themes. Because a storm is coming, and this storm is going to shake things up. All right, next question, character relationships. How do their actions show they care about each other? Okay, so this big storm comes, and Lawrence is like, oh my gosh, Sophia's going to be in that tree out there in this storm. Is she going to be okay? And Sophia is thinking the same thing. She's like, oh my gosh, Lawrence is going to be out there just in his tent in this storm. Is he okay? So they're both worried about each other's well-being. This is where conquering fear through empathy. So right now they have a lot of empathy for each other. They're worried about the other one. Is my friend going to be okay in this storm? So they're showing a lot of empathy, a lot of concern right now. And they are going to conquer their fears because of it. All right, next question, character development. What was the turning point for Lawrence and Sophia? So they conquered their fear through empathy. Each one was so concerned about their friend that they left their comfort zone to go check on the other. Sophia left the tree, went to the ground to check on Lawrence. Lawrence left the comfort of his yard, climbed the tree to go check on Sophia. So they have both expanded their comfort zones through the power of empathy and selfless bravery. So they had to be brave. They had to put aside their own fears and concerns in order to go see if their friend was okay. So a lot of themes developing right here. Selfless bravery, expanding the comfort zones. They also had to accept their own vulnerability, because when you go beyond your comfort zone, you have to be vulnerable. And they did that for each other. So they had so much empathy, so much value in their companion that they were like, you know what, I'm gonna put my concerns and my fears aside, and I gotta go see if my friend's okay. And that is exactly what they do. All right, and then they see each other. Oh, you're okay. You went and checked on me. Next question, central idea. What have Lawrence and Sophia learned by the end? So they have learned that they can expand their comfort zones. They have learned that through the empathy and concern and care that they had for each other, it made them brave enough and selfless enough to go out on a limb and break through their own comfort zones. And ultimately, the comfort of companionship, because what truly makes them comfortable is not simply staying within their own comfort zones, but it was having each other. And that is the biggest lesson, the comfort of companionship, that in the end, their own comfort zones really mostly depended on having that other person there, on the companionship. And that is Lawrence and Sophia, exploring the themes of conquering fear through empathy, expanding your comfort zones, sharing your perspectives, selfless bravery, and the comfort of companionship.